tax breaks from the government.
And what do your kids think of it? What do you think of it?
They get to be kids and they get to live life
Ride your bikes.
and ride their bikes.
They're having a blast.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Oh, what's your name?
I'm Tasha.
What is it?
Tasha
And what's your last name, Tasha?
Everett.
Everett. Thank you. Are you from Amherst?
I am.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I think I've got to talk over there with the cowboy hat.
Hi.
Hi.
I'd love to talk with you. What's your name?
My name is Barb McKenna,
Hi, Barb.
and we're a citizen journalist with a network called ATN Reports.
Okay.
What's your name?
My name's Sam Field.
Where are you from, Sam?
I'm from Annapolis Valley, Nova Scotia.
How long have you been here?
I just showed back up last night. I've been away for the last 2 weeks. Fortunate enough to be a part of it since the April 1st. And but yeah, as with many of us, we have families and responsibilities at home, so we have to tap in and tap out from time to time, but try to do what we can with what we got.
Right, so you have a job, or you have to go, you have responsibility to home country.
Definitely. I'm a small business owner. We have a farm, family. So as we are required to be on scene right now with the harms that are on the horizon, we have to make sure that there's we're taking care of what we've got. We work so hard to have. And reality is that it takes teamwork. So I want to make sure my team at home is doing okay, so I can afford to be.
Okay, I want to ask about diet. Canada's talking about terrorists.
Yes, we've been slandered. We've been painted with a brush from the leftists. They whittled through the footage.
Well, what is that?
It's essentially a fallacy.
But why is it on a camper here?
So this trailer here was part of the Ottawa Freedom Convoy, and it's been a part of a number of other protests across the Maritimes. The Queen of Diagolon, Jeremy Mackenzie's partner, Morgan. I've met them, and she drew, in their way of supporting their side of it. This Diagolon, it was a joke. It was a spoof that Jeremy designed or came up with. That really, it would take as simple as one line that goes from Alaska to Florida, and that was the definition of the white line. And he said they're easily triggered, that so much as a white line on a flag can throw them off. It did unfortunately get out of hand. At the beginning, the whole Diagolon organization, and there were a lot of people that could get on board, because when you first listen,
Is it an organization?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. There's followers on his podcast, and as with many others, there are people that like sports teams, and there are people that like automobiles of certain makes. You can't control.
So it's Jeremy Mackenzie fans, podcast fans.
Yeah, he has a thing that's called Ragecast, and he is a veteran of the Canadian Armed Forces, and he served his time. And when the pandemic first come out, he did an address, and it captured a lot of our hearts, because he was very frustrated with how he was unable to honor the fallen soldiers that he stood with abroad. And then when he came home to the nonsense of the overreach of the mandates, he was left out in the cold, and that was the first video that many of us saw.
So that flag, though, is causing quite a trauma across the country.
Well, it is. It's doing what I.
Do you think it's taking away from the protest here about the carbon tax?
Yes and no. It is. This has been an expose for most of us to just acknowledge and identify where the harm is and who is placing it upon the people, and by them taking such a scribble off of a door and running with it so rabid, and calling people names and acting in such pathetic mannerism over such that not a single person, except for I'm honored that you're here to actually address this, because nobody's actually come and talked to us and learned our stories and wanted to hear how genuine we are. And, you know, we understand that something has to be done in Canada, and it has to be done right now.
Can I see the scribble?
No, it's been removed. Like
Oh.
with much frustration and no, we don't want any rope over us. We don't want anybody to think that for any reason or any association that we are what they're choosing to grab and hold over us, because this is a grassroots movement of blue collar individuals that are just trying to do whatever we can to alleviate the harm from our communities. And to see industries failing at such an epic rate, and see families that have nothing left, these retirement plans that our elders have worked so hard to praise or be told that that's going to carry you through your retired years, and now it's not worth anything. It's not enough. The cost of living has increased so dramatically, and the rate of pay has not.
Yeah, times are really tough.
Yeah.
But what do you think being here in the cottages?
Oh, this has been wonderful. I mean, we have been able to identify that there are good people in Canada. When we're standing on the side of the road with our flags, and you see that cell phone in the passenger seat, it completely counteracts these mainstream medias that are so heavily funded to project a certain ideology. It is real, and they're doing it at a real aggressive rate. So by us being here, we can actually go against that 100%, because when people actually get to meet us and actually see how, you know, genuine we are, it literally squashes their...
Some people have told my partner and I that we shouldn't come here to interview you because we're giving you attention.
Right. Well, I appreciate it, and it takes a big heart, and it takes the realization that something does need to be done.
Do you think you're a terrorist?
I am definitely not a terrorist. It really bothers me that some people are so willing to go with the flow and assume things that, like, our Prime Minister slandered us. He has actually gone out of his way to bundle us into a group of, you know, our CSIS actually denounced what Diagolon is in the, you know, how the parliamentarians are choosing to slander us. It is fallacy. It is just another sliver in our foot that is aggravating us. And whether it's the financial sector, the education sector, all this nonsense that they're choosing to hold over us and convince the people that are sitting at home on their televisions that don't ever go and stand up, don't ever be yourself, don't ever have pride in your country, hate your neighbor regardless of race or creed. It's nonsense. We actually are very inclusive in Canada, and we will be that way without somebody telling us how to be. We are Canadians. We are absolutely humble people, but we do get upset and we get very frustrated because you can only be called names for so long until you actually stand up, or you can't acknowledge harm and not do something about it.
So what got you here really? I mean, you're talking the carbon tax, but what I'm hearing is like a tremendous amount of frustration bubbling under the surface behind everybody. You feel you're not being heard.
I know I'm being heard. We've been told that, you know, right from before we ever showed up here on April 1st, I was told by the liaisons that this was an impossible protest. You know, don't even bother, Sam, you guys, it's an impossible protest. And I just, you know, I explained to the liaison that there's 185,000 on our Facebook page, and that we are going to come down and try to do our best. And we've asked for all the anger and frustrated people to stay at home. We reached out and we want the professionals. We've asked for your A game when you come down here. You know, leave your frustration at home. This is to show the world that Canadians can do it peacefully, and we can do it proud. And it's going to take a long time. You know, persistency was a big facet of how we knew we were going to have to do this because of the issues we've actually genuinely seen. The mainstream media. The truth is, everybody, with the exception of a slight few that are very dead set on listening to the narrative of the media. Even the ones that are displeased with our presence, they're still, they go home and they understand that loaf of bread is now $5. And it's not $1.49. It's not.
But what about Galen Weston? Like, he's profit.
Well, and this is it.
Like, well, look what he's making. Like, he's a profiteer.
And many corporations are showing record profits since the pandemic, and the fact that they're stating that they can't increase the wages for the people that are actually doing the job.
But how is that Trudeau's fault?
It's a country club issue for me. I'm not very pleased with any of the political parties we have representing us. The bureaucrats, the unelected officials, the people who are ushering these agendas through at a this is why I'm really proud to be a part of this. Is we have exposed so much nonsense in our Canada that they have ramped up all these agendas, and I'm hoping that they trip on one of them, and then the world can see that it's not good. They are trying to cripple us, and I believe they would like our country for the resources, and without the middle class, without the people that are willing to stand up, they will have our country, and they will have our fresh water and our forests and the beauty that is.
Thank you for talking to me today.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much. Thank you guys thank you very much for coming out, and it takes a strong soul to come down and be a part of it. If you could pass me a card so I can keep in touch with you.
We don't have a card.
No, we're too new.
All right, well.
Thank you very much.